Hello, everybody. I go by RSAM, and today I want to cover 25 visual novels in roughly 25 minutes. What is a visual novel? Well, it's in the name. But seriously, a visual novel, think of it as a video game slash novel hybrid. Essentially, it's a game where you're not really jumping over anything or shooting anybody. No, you're just reading and enjoying the experience. There's typically two types of visual novels. There's your linear and your narrative. Narrative being much more popular these days, where the ending of the story, be it good, neutral, or bad, depends upon your choices in the game. So if this is your kind of thing, you might want to stick around. Now, before I get into it, I do want to say, guys, please subscribe, okay? I've been hard capped at $7.99, and I just want to feel what it's like to be at 800 subscribers, okay? You can always unsubscribe later. Just do this for me. I appreciate that. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Number one is Katawa Shoujo. I've talked about Katawa Shoujo on multiple videos already, multiple icebergs, but I never miss an opportunity to talk about it. It's just that good. And if you don't like the story of this game, you'll love the story of how this game even came together. It was originally conceived on 4chan, yes, 4chan, that 4chan, by a bunch of strangers who said, hey, wouldn't this be a neat idea? And they came together and made this game throughout the course of many years. You can find videos of that on YouTube, the story of how it even came together, but the game itself is amazing in my opinion, and it's all about dating disabled girls. Okay, now that might offend you, and considering it came from 4chan, that might offend you too, but trust me, the story of this game is incredibly respectful to the subject matter. Okay, so this is a visual novel. There's a lot of choices, obviously. There's great visuals, there's cute characters, it's funny, it's wholesome, it's romantic, it's sexy. Yeah, you'll be crying out of more than one place when you play this game. But trust me, it's a lot of fun, it's absolutely worth it, and it's a long game, and there's multiple different endings. So I definitely recommend you check it out. You can even find it on Steam now for free! For free! What else have you got to do? Come on, man, go play it right now, or at least it was free when I saw it last. Anyway, number two is Narcisu. Now, Narcisu would be the runner-up VN I'd recommend anybody play. It's the VN that I remember for being the most emotional. I cried like a baby, like a grown man baby when I played this. Although I played it back in my drunken days, that probably didn't help, but I remember the story decently well too. And I'll tell you, it is sad, and it is emotional, and it is wholesome. It's all about, well, terminally ill hospital patients and living out the last few days of their lives. But only thing is, they're not like old folks. These are young people. And it's a very sad story of like hopelessness, depression, yet also hope and acceptance. It's incredibly sad. And I recommend you play it if you want an emotional story, but only if you can handle it. Number three would be Steins Gate. Okay, Steins Gate, most people know it for the anime, they know it for the memes, but the visual novel, you have to play the visual novel if you want the full experience, in my opinion. Because some of the choices you have to make in this game are so difficult to make. I remember just sitting there, staring at my screen saying, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I can't make this choice. Knowing that if I want to get to the true ending, I have to do one thing that I don't want to to do, but I have to do it. And of course, by not doing it, you can get a different ending and so on and so forth, but I don't want to spoil anything else. In case you don't know, you play as a scientist or as a science student known as Rintaro Okabe, and him and his friends accidentally making a time machine and all of the unbelievable events that ensue after the fact. I recommend you check this game out. It is, oh man, it is something, let me tell you. So number four would be Lucy, the Eternity She Wished For. Lucy, the Eternity She Wished For is a VN in which talks about android waifus. Similar to, say, Chobits or Plastic Memories, this is a game more in the early days of the android takeover, you might say, where a lot of people are still resistant to androids, but they're starting to become more and more a staple in everybody's day-to-day life. You play as a young man who is resistant to this change, to all changes, including his father, who's pretty much pushed it into his head about it, and their lives. But one day this young man finds this android in the dump and decides to bring it home because he thinks it's, well, cute. I mean, he won't admit that, but throughout the game you get hints that he's a bit more open-minded than even he lets on to you, the viewer. And of course, he brings this android waifu home. He starts putting it together and charges it up, and he really tries to take care of it. And it's an emotional story, and I absolutely recommend you check it out. Number 5 is the Sunrider series. Okay, this one, I'm cheating a bit on this one. I'm going to be honest with you here because there is some gameplay going on here. There is a strategy mech game, war simulator, but let's be honest here, the gameplay, I think it's kind of bad, and it's really just there to waste your time, in my opinion. Hey, if this is your thing, go for it, but it's not a very good game, and you can go to the difficulty settings and put it on game journalist mode and basically just skip through all of the combat. I mean, it's that easy. But the story here is what's really, really good and gripping. You play as Kaito Shields, a character who just graduated military school on the day his planet was taken over by a warring faction in the universe. There's two major factions, the Pact and the Alliance, and you are, well, you're angry at Pact, but you don't necessarily want to join the Alliance as you want your planet to remain neutral. But at the same time, you're the last captain out. You just happen to get out of there. And you build a team of mech pilot waifus to take the fight to Pact. The choices you make do have weight, and they are difficult to make at times. It is emotional, it is wholesome, and you can decensor it, which is always nice with an outside patch. I absolutely recommend this entire series, and the story is great. The gameplay, however, I would skip out on. It's really just not very good. Anyway, check it out. Number 6 is Gaokao Love 100 Days. So this game is, if you ever wanted to play as an abused Asian student with strict Asian parents, well then there you go. Gaokao Love 100 Days is more of a scheduler game, more of one of those time builder games, sort of like Tokimeki Memorial 2 or Princess Maker 2. So I'm kind of cheating on this one, but the story is really good, and story is what keeps you. And the gameplay is really not that difficult. You can always look at a guide if you're having trouble. But in this game, what makes it unique is that you actually start off with a girlfriend, right? What? That's crazy. Your character already has a girlfriend, and you have to balance having a girlfriend with taking these difficult tests that your parents are just beating you up over, trying to get, you must get perfect score. I was going to make a stereotypical accent, but I don't want to get in trouble. You have to balance both of those, and in the meantime, there's a third girl, kind of a childhood friend going on situation. So it gets kind of chaotic. I really think it's a great game. I want you to check it out if you have time. If you want to play that sort of thing, it can be difficult, but again, the story will keep you playing it no matter what. I love this game. I recommend it. And number 7, we have Go-Go Nippon. So Go-Go Nippon, my first trip to Japan, is a game all about, well, being a Japanese exchange student, right? There's actually multiple games like this, I found out doing research, but Go-Go Nippon is the one that I remember. So Go-Go Nippon is essentially you're going to Japan and you thought you were going to be hanging out with these two students that you met online, but oh, what a twist. You thought they were both male students, but they're both hot waifu characters. And of course, you're going to be living with them, and hijinks will ensue. Not really, because this is more of an edutainment kind of game where you're learning more about Japan and the culture, and it even shows you the Japanese characters, so it's good for someone like me who's in the process of learning Japanese right now. It's a pretty good game. I think it's pretty wholesome. It's got good music. It's got cute characters. I don't know if there's a decensor patch in it. I don't think there's anything to be uncensored, but hey man, Rule 34, there's a Rule 34 for everything, right? But yeah, no, I recommend the game, so I absolutely want you to check it out. Number 8 is Kana Little Sister. Okay. I've talked about this game on an iceberg video before. Now you might think this is perverted, this is hentai, this is gooner, this is gross, and this is, well, disgusting. And I would say yes. Yes, it is. Yes. Based. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Right? Okay, so trust me, if you can stomach all of that, there is a really good, wholesome, emotional story here. I'm just gonna say this outright. It's a spoiler, but whatever. They're not actually related, okay? So, you don't have to feel guilty about it, okay? But it's a good story about a young man and his little sister who is sickly and in the hospital constantly. It's sad. It's a sad game, but I recommend you check it out. Even the good endings are bittersweet, as a commenter once put on one of my videos. So I'd recommend you check it out. You're not going to find it on Steam, I don't think, but number 9 is Choice of Robots. Okay, now we're getting a kind of a Western game here. Choice of Robots is a unique game. There's a whole list of these games called Choice of, but I think this one's one of the better ones. So, Choice of Robots, I struggle to call it a VN, but there is some visuals, so I'd say it counts. But it's all about reading through and making choices. You're playing as a character who creates a robot and basically can either start the robot uprising or have a robot waifu. The story, there's so many ways the story can turn, and every little choice seems to matter. There's even progress bars in the options to show you, well, just how far are you in one direction or the other, be it an android uprising or an android waifu or whatever else you think the story can go. It's pretty good, and I would absolutely recommend it. I was hooked on it. There are so many of these Choice of games that it's hard to say. A lot of them aren't very good, but this is one of the better ones, I'd say, if you want to play a game, a visual novel, a choices kind of game. Next up, we have Zombie Exodus. So this is basically you're playing as a character. Again, your name, gender, sexuality, all that stuff. It's kind of up to you, right? How you play through the game, but it's all about the choices you make and that you're surviving through the zombie apocalypse. And of course, at the end of the game, there's something called the Zombie Exodus. You're basically preparing for that the entire game, the choices you make. Now, there's a lot of bad endings here, and it can go very bad very quickly. There's some conspiracies going on here. I mean, there's so much, and I really like this game. So of all these kind of choose your own adventure kind of games on Steam, there's a ton of them, but these two I recommend more than any of the other ones, so go check it out. Number 11 would be No One But You. All right, so in this game, it's really not the best. It's kind of a hidden visual novel. I've never heard people really talking about this one. I picked it up randomly one day for some reason, and I remember it not being very good, but there's one character, one route that is just so emotional and wholesome that, oh my God. I'm not going to give it away, but I'll put the character on the screen. Definitely go for this person's route if you want an emotional story. I mean, it was just, whew, oh man, just remembering. I certainly recommend it. It's just your typical visual novel about a young man in high school, multiple different girls, but wow, this one route, I tell you. It's like, I'm talking like, it goes from like C- to A+ in this one. But that might just be my proclivity. We'll move on. Number 12 is Princess Evangeli. Princess, or Evangel, I might say. I'm actually not sure. Princess Evangel is a game all about, well, it's about you're a young man going to a school that's filled with all girls. You're going to be the first male student going in this school. I feel like I've heard this one before. But anyway, this game is pretty popular. I would say right off the bat, I recommend you buy it off-site, like not on Steam, because yeah, you're gonna want the uncensored version. Trust me. Anyway, this game is, yeah, it's as simple as that, really. Now there is a deep story going on here, and this game is long. It is very long. But I think it's worth sticking with. Even though a lot of the hijinks, it can kind of get on your nerves sometimes. It's like, oh, another scenario where it's only one male student in a school full of females. Oh, wow, who could see this coming? You know what? It can be predictable, right? But it's still good, and I still recommend it, whether you get the hentai version or not. But get the hentai version. I mean, come on, what are you doing? Come on, man. Number 13 is Valhalla. Valhalla is a game I feel like I've heard people talk more about in the last few years than I have whenever it first came out, right? Valhalla is a cyberpunk waifu kind of game. I will say there's a bit of wokeness here. Now, that's not a big deal to me as long as the game is good, and this is a really good game. And there is some gameplay here, but it's hard to screw up, right? It's really hard to make mistakes in this game. All you're really doing is mixing drinks and listening to other characters' problems. You get to know these characters pretty well. I think it's a really good game. I love the setting. It's got good music. I recommend it. I really recommend it. Go check it out on Steam. Number 14 is called While We Wait Here. While We Wait Here is another game where you're making food, right? That's the only gameplay you're getting, but for the most part, it is a visual novel. You could take out the gameplay of it, automate it, and it would be a visual novel, so I'd say it counts. You're playing as a diner owner in the middle of nowhere, and you're tending the diner as the world is ending, essentially, right? There's a lot more to it than that, but I don't want to spoil it. It's a short game, but the entire game is based on the choices you make with the bar patrons, and they'll come to you with problems. And the goal here, I'll just spoil this, is to be consistent. That's all I'm going to say. But there's a much deeper narrative going on here than just the end of the world, middle of nowhere diner, okay? And it's a lot of fun, and it's a pretty good game, and I would recommend it, and it's not really that expensive. Number 15 is You, Me, and Her. All right, I've talked about this game a lot as well. It's simply because it doesn't get the love it deserves, right? Everybody talks about Doki Doki Literature Club, but no one talks about this game, and this game is the far superior predecessor to it, in that same vein where it's like fourth wall breaking kind of horror, meta horror, you know what I mean? And that's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to spoil it, but I definitely recommend it. It is a game about two different waifus and deciding who you love more, what route you want to go down, things such as. I just can't spoil it more than that. Hopefully you got enough out of what I just said. Number 16 is Emily is Away. All right, Emily is Away is a cheaper game. You may have seen your favorite YouTuber talk about it. It's pretty safe, but essentially it's, imagine you're back in like 2006 and you're talking to someone on AIM Messenger, MSN, things such as. Now, if you don't know what I just said, this game probably isn't for you. And I'm just being nice. I'm being honest here, okay? I'm not trying to be mean, but I mean, you kind of had to be there to get it. The idea of sitting behind your computer or your family computer and hearing a pop-up message of somebody messaging you. You just had to be there for. And this game recreates that exceptionally well. And I mean exceptionally well. It really, really does. I mean, it's definitely a game that if you're bored and lonely alone on a Friday night, you might crack open a beer, except for me, I don't drink. Crack open a beer and play through this game and have an emotional roller coaster, a blast to the past, right? It's an emotional game about, well, just two people talking on AIM Messenger, trademark. And I really would recommend it. There's a whole series here. I'm not sure if they all follow each other. I've only played the first one, but I would recommend it. Absolutely. Number 17 is called The Letter. The Letter is, well, it is a kind of a Western visual novel, but I remember this one being like one visual novel that scared the ever-loving hell out of me. This game was scary, and it doesn't look like it would be. It surprises you with how scary it is, or maybe I'm just a wimp. I don't get scared by games very often. I really don't, because I can just turn the game off. It's not a big deal, right? And I recognize that. But this game was, maybe it's the jump scares or what, but it's essentially a ghost.
That's it!
What's up, Iggy?
I've come up with a new recipe.
Can't wait to try it.
Story. You play as multiple different characters and multiple different routes. It all converges into a couple of different endings you can get for all the characters. And if you're not careful, you could lose like almost all of these characters, at least if I remember right. I'd recommend you check it out if you want something scary, especially this Halloween season. I absolutely would if you want a Western visual novel. Voice acting, I remember being kind of balls, but other than that, it's a good game. Number 18 is World End Economica. All I have to say about this one is stock market in space. Okay. There's a bit more to it than that. It's an emotional story. There's a series here. I believe there's 3 parts to it. It's all about growing up, on the moon. And yeah, I don't want to spoil much more than that. It's a pretty good game. Number 19 is Crush. Okay, Crush, I'm sorry. It's my guilty pleasure. Now, you can argue with me whether or not it's a visual novel, but I mean, there's a lot of reading in this game. Believe it or not, there's a lot of reading going on here. It's an idle clicker game, so really all you're doing is clicking. And all you do is play the game and waste time. You put it down for a few hours, come back, you do your whatever chores, and then you stop. Okay? It's a mobile game, and it's designed to suck money out of you. But there is an overarching story here. There's even a good and a neutral ending. Now, in order to get the best ending, you do have to get the good ending and then the neutral ending, which is kind of unusual, but there's credits and everything. I mean, there's a lot of reading, there's choices to be made. I don't know what you'd call that, but I think it counts. I put it on the list. I think it counts. I think it's a good game, and if you want good waifus, then there you go. Hey, quick editing note here. So, I talked briefly about another game called Cabin Fever, which is made by the same company in a bad ending video. It sucks. But actually, I just found out recently that Crush, the company that made it, actually did make a visual novel based on these characters called Hush Hush. And wouldn't you believe it, it's on sale right now. I think I'm going to pick it up. Now, I want to talk about this list just briefly. All of these games I've played before, so I'm not going to talk about a game that I've never played before. That's just disingenuous, right? How can I recommend a game I've never played? You know what I mean? So I'm not going to talk about that game here, although I probably could. I'm going to check it out for myself and maybe let y'all know if y'all are interested. The only game on this list I don't remember that well actually is World End Economica, because I played that a long time ago. But other than that, I just wanted to say that, yeah, this company did make a couple of visual novels, so anyway, yeah, let's move on. Number 20 is the Fate series. I only put this on here because, well, most people don't know it comes from a visual novel. I talked about this on one of my bad ending videos, that most people don't know that the Fate series started as a visual novel series, and it wasn't even officially translated to English until the late 2020s. Right, so imagine that. It's been popular in the US for the past more than 10 to 15 years because of the animes, but most people have never even played the source material. So, I mean, I can't even say much more than it's about the Holy Grail War, and if you haven't seen the Fate anime, well, I would personally, you might do better just going through Fate Unlimited Blade Works versus playing this game, but it's worth checking out. I just wanted to talk about this because a lot of people just flat out don't know it, so there you go. Number 21 is Chaos Child. Chaos Child is a game that I kind of don't like that much, but everybody else seems to love it. What's unique about this one is the way you make choices in this one. It's not like you're making dialogue choices. It's your character choosing in any situation to experience what the story in either a positive or a negative way in his mind. He's essentially playing out scenarios in his head. And yet, somehow, without spoiling anything, this curves the way the story goes. I won't say much more than that, but essentially, you're playing as a young man who's a netizen who lives alone and is surrounded by a lot of attractive anime girl characters and a best friend character, always. Anyway, I just don't want to say much more than that, but yeah, it's a good game. I would recommend it just for that alone. Number 21 is Homeward. So Homeward, well, I'll give you some homework in that good luck finding this game. Well, it's really not that difficult. Just sort of Google it till you find it. But it's really hard to find. You're not going to find it on Steam. It's from the same creators of the Sunrider series. I believe it was their first game. It's a visual novel all about a young man who, unfortunately, throughout most of his childhood, has traveled around throughout the entire world. And now he's back in his hometown briefly, and he meets three waifus, one of them being his little sister, obviously, and it's a romance, eroge, and yes, you can bang your little sister, but hey, whoa, that I absolutely didn't go that route first, no. But trust me, this is an emotional game, and just the art style, the music, it just gives you, it's a throwback, it really is, and it's pretty hard to find, so I recommend you check it out if you can. I really do. I know I just said all the perverted nonsense, but trust me, just play it for yourself. You're an adult. Number 23 is School Days. School Days is, again, another one of those things I just can't stop talking about because I think it gets such a negative reception and I don't think it deserves it. The anime, yeah, it's not the best, but in my opinion, it's deeply misunderstood, and I may make a part 2 to my School Days video one day if enough people actually want to watch it. If I want to battle copyright again for 2 weeks just to have 50 views, I'm sorry, that kind of hits me, that kind of hurts. But I might just finish the fight one day anyway. School Days is a game all about, well, being in high school and, having a love triangle, only things can go really, really badly, and it's notorious for some of these bad endings. But for the most part, the game is just kind of wholesome, and you kind of just deal with a lot of drama. If anything, I'm surprised this game doesn't appeal more to women. There's a lot of drama going on here in the game, but I'd recommend it. I really would. I really recommend this game. It's not the best. I will say it's not the best, but I don't know. It's my guilty pleasure, and I'm never going to stop singing its praises as long as I live. Number 24 is going to be Notch Innocent Sinner. This is a game that you'll have to find on Steam. It's buried. It's an older one. But I remember if you want a challenging visual novel, as in like what the hell choices do I make to keep going, then here you go. It is a horror visual novel and it's really easy to make the wrong choices. But the art is really good and the gameplay is pretty good and the story is really good as well. But I'm just saying, without a guide, good luck. And number 25 is Rain Marginal. Rain Marginal was made by the same creators that made Narcissu, so kind of the alpha and omega going on here with this being the last entry. Rain Marginal, while not as emotional as Narcissu, I absolutely recommend it. The story is great, the gameplay, the music, the visuals, they're all really good, and it is an emotional game, and it will make you feel absolutely miserable at the end of it, but it's got a much more positive message and ending, I would say, than Narcissu, but I can't say much more. So with that out of the way, well, thank you so much for watching. Hey, it would mean so much to me if you hit the subscribe button and just stick around for a little bit if you liked the video. If not, hey, no problem. But thank you so much for watching. What visual novels did you like? Which ones have you played? Do you think I'm wrong in any of these? Do you think I have a bad opinion, good opinion? Tell me all about your favorite visual novel. Just whatever. Leave a comment below. I'm always looking for more suggestions, and thank you so much. Please check out some of my iceberg videos or even some of my anime videos that I talk about anime, things such as, and yeah, whatever you think, just let me know, and thank you so much once again. Y'all take care.